Greetings and thank you for tuning in. I'm Maura Kelly from People's Academy Middle Level in Morrisville, and welcome to the second episode of PLP Pathways webinar. I'd like to thank Orca Media for letting us film the show in their studio.
Hi, and I'm Don Taylor from Main Street Middle School right here in Montpelier. I teach language arts and social studies to grades 7 and 8.
Before we get into today's show, we want to make sure you know how to stay connected to PLP Pathways. You can visit our site, follow us on Twitter, and keep tabs on the project through our blog. We'll show you these again at the end of the episode.
Every month, we'll be hosting a Google Hangout for Vermont educators. This PLP Pathways webinar will feature a pre-recorded segment that will lead to online discussion, collaboration, and planning among interested educators. Videos will also be posted on the PLP Pathways YouTube channel. If you remember, last month we discussed the personal learning framework and how that structure can guide students and teachers through the personal learning process. As we discussed, students are encouraged to think about their identity as a learner at the beginning of the year. For middle level students, this can be a crucial exercise that helps both teachers and students understand the skills, knowledge, and strengths that students bring to the learning community. Interestingly enough, even though I have students in our program for 2 years, students often choose to start the school year by revising their introductions and their biography. This might speak to the rapidly changing developmental stages of adolescent learners.
Through the identity lens, we let our students jump right in and start personalizing their portfolios, letting them express themselves while also increasing student engagement in the process, really allowing them ownership of the PLP space that is going to house their growth over the course of the year.
Also, as students begin to evaluate their strengths and challenges as learners, we ask them to start identifying the positive relationships that help support them as they attempt to achieve their goals. Those positive relationships are a critical part of the middle level learning community. When students have started reflecting on the relationships and the supports in the community, we ask them to begin identifying core principles and values. This is a critical stepping stone as we proceed towards the goal setting that moves students from the identity stage to the growth stage. By first identifying those core principles, students can build goals that will help them focus on these principles and values.
On our team, one of the first large writing pieces that the students complete is a personal narrative. We have them write their narrative about a time that they faced a challenge and had to use a growth mindset. In the process of developing an episode that they will write their final piece on, we embed lessons around the development of students' principles and values that will help them think about goal setting. Although we spend a good deal of time in the identity stage, our real goal is to get students to move from a place where they've identified their strengths and challenges, positive relationships, and core principles and values into the growth stage. This is facilitated as students begin to set goals, create action steps, and then collect evidence to demonstrate their achievement of those goals.
Based on the school calendar and the needs of the teacher and team, goals and evidence are evaluated on a regular basis using applicable standards. These might include the Common Core, ISTE, technology standards, or the Agency of Education's transferable skills. As we reviewed in our calendar example last month, getting students to set their first set of goals initiates the second or growth stage of the personal learning framework.
Initial goals require action steps and measures to track those goals. A key advantage of the personal learning plan is that they give the students, teachers, and parents an online platform to monitor student growth.
It's important for students to set meaningful goals. One way that we do this is by talking with our students and modeling our own goal setting. We also set smaller goals with our students and have them visualize their success.
We start off with our students identifying their strengths as a learner and their passions both in and out of school. We try and help students set meaningful goals that support some of the work that they may already be doing. We have students use a SMART goals template to help them write their goals. We find that when a student has a goal that is meaningful to them with specific action steps, they're more likely to meet their goals. One of the key facets of the personal learning plan and the personal learning framework is the element of reflection. We are encouraging everyone in our learning community to reflect on the lessons, experiences, goals, and growth that are occurring on a regular basis.
By using reflective exercises to identify strengths and challenges, action steps, and areas requiring improvement, we hope to develop positive self-evaluation tools that eventually students can use independently.
This is a critical step in the learner's growth and development. More importantly, because it comes from the learner themselves, these reflections can spur motivation and engagement.
For more discussion and collaboration about all of these issues and personal learning plans, please join us on Thursday, October 29th at 3:30 p.m. for our second PLP Pathways webinar. At that time, we'll talk more about implementing PLPs, planning and logistics, reflection on the first series of goals, and preparing for parent conferences.
Thanks for joining us, and again, we hope to see you on the 29th of October.